There's a version of you who never hesitates, who walks into a room and changes its energy without saying a word, whose presence commands attention, not by force but by frequency. And here's the truth no one's saying. That version isn't some distant fantasy. They're not living in another timeline you'll never reach. And the gap between you and them is shrinking with every breath you take. Right now, you're making the choices they'll look back on as the turning point. You're enduring the struggles they'll call sacred initiations. You're facing the doubts they've already turned into unshakable knowing. And the bridge between who you are and who they've become, it's not talent, not luck, not perfect timing. It's authorization, the permission to stop shrinking yourself to fit spaces too small for your soul, to stop explaining your worth to people blind to your light, to stop dimming your brilliance just because it makes others uneasy in their own shadows. The future you doesn't wait for an invitation, doesn't seek approval, doesn't apologize for existing fully. They simply are, rooted in truth, unshaken by noise. And here's what changes everything. They're not coming back to save you. You are becoming them. Every wound you've survived is forging their strength. Every fall is laying their foundation. Every fear you move through is hardening into their certainty. So stop waiting for them on the horizon. Start embodying them now, because you were never behind, never late, never too slow. You arrived exactly when you were meant to. Your timing isn't flawed. It's perfectly calibrated to your soul's evolution. We've been taught to worship clock time, the kind that says by 25, you should, or by 30, you must, as if life runs on a factory schedule. But that's not real time. That's ego time, the voice that compares, regrets, and punishes you for not matching someone else's path. Your true timeline is quantum. In this deeper rhythm, every detour, delay, and dead end was necessary. Every moment you thought you were lost, you were actually being reorganized from the inside out. Like a caterpillar dissolving in the chrysalis. From the outside it looks like collapse, but inside, total reconstruction. You can't rush metamorphosis. The delay is the process. Those years you felt stuck, you weren't idle. You were composting pain into wisdom, gathering invisible tools, expanding your nervous system's capacity to hold the life you say you want. Because here's the secret. You can't sustain what you're not ready for. How many times did you get something you wanted only to lose it? Sabotage it or realize it didn't fit? That wasn't failure. It was feedback. Your soul saying, not yet, not this version of you. That job you didn't get 5 years ago. Maybe it would have trapped you in a life you needed to outgrow. That relationship that ended? Maybe it was shielding you from love that asked you to disappear. Those lost decades, you were building an inner library only lived experience could write. You weren't wasting time. You were in the holy delay, the sacred pause that looks like failure from the surface, but is actually divine precision. And your future self, they remember this exact moment, the doubt, the impatience, the when will it happen. From where they stand, they see how every wrong turn led exactly where you needed to go. They don't wish you'd hurry. They honor this phase because they know you can't skip steps in consciousness. The pressure you feel to catch up, that's not your future calling. That's your wounded ego still trying to prove you're enough to people who never saw you. Your future self speaks a different language, one of trust, timing, and deep, quiet knowing. You were never late. You were always on your way. They speak the language of trust, not control, of surrender, not struggle. They know everything is unfolding exactly as it must. They're not worried about your pace. Why? Because they are your arrival. They're living proof you make it, that every detour, dead end, and delay was part of the path, not a deviation from it. So what if you stopped fighting your timing? What if you stopped comparing your chapter 10 to someone else's chapter 30, and honored that you're exactly where your soul needs to be to learn what it must? What if you stopped seeing your present as something to escape, and started seeing it as the perfect training ground for the life you're growing into? Here's the liberating truth. You don't arrive at your destiny, you become ready for it. And readiness doesn't follow calendars. It happens in quantum leaps, in sudden moments when everything you've been quietly preparing for clicks into place. Opportunities that once slipped past now find you, because your frequency finally matches what you're meant to receive. This isn't magic, it's coherence. While you thought you were stuck, you were rewiring your nervous system, unlearning sabotage, healing wounds that would have poisoned your future, building discernment that saves you years of pain, laying a foundation strong enough to hold the life you claim to want. That takes time, but not clock time. Transformation time, like seeds becoming trees, coal becoming diamonds. You can't rush it. Only trust it. So ask yourself, what if you're not late, but early? What if you're ahead of schedule for a reality still forming? What if closed doors aren't rejection, but protection? What if the rooms behind them are still being built? Just for you? Yes, it's hard when others seem to glide while you grind, when recognition feels distant. But what if you shifted your question? Instead of, why is this taking so long? Ask, what is this preparing me for? Instead of, why am I not there yet? Ask, who am I becoming in the process? Instead of, when will my life start? Realize this is your life. This moment is the transformation. You're not in the waiting room. You're in the movie. The more you resist this, the more you suffer. The more you accept it, the more you align with the intelligence guiding you all along. Pause here. Say this aloud. I arrived exactly when I needed to arrive. Let that be your declaration, a conscious break from the lie that you're behind. Now watch what happens when you truly believe it. The pressure lifts, comparison fades, anxiety dissolves, and in that space you become available. Because manifestation isn't about wanting, it's about being. If you vibrate, I'm late, I'm not enough, that's the reality you create. But shift to, I'm right on time. Everything is unfolding perfectly, and you don't just change thoughts. You change frequency. This isn't toxic positivity. It's clarity. Your interpretation shapes your emotion. Your emotion shapes your reality. The story I'm behind breeds desperation. Forcing, grasping, pushing. That energy repels what you seek. The story I'm on time brings peace, allowing aligned action. Openness, space for miracles. Miracles aren't supernatural. They're natural when resistance stops blocking them. Future you didn't rush. They trusted. They didn't force entry into rooms they weren't ready, for they became ready for the rooms meant for them. They faced every doubt you face now, not by bypassing it, but by moving through it fully. They used uncertainty as fuel, not proof of failure. The gap between you and them isn't time or luck. It's internal capacity, the ability to hold your desired reality without collapsing under pressure. And that capacity is forged right now, in the very struggles you call delays. You're not behind them, you're becoming them. And becoming never ends. There's no finish line, only deeper layers of expansion. So release the pressure to arrive. Treat your present not as a problem, but as a classroom. Ask, what is this teaching me? What is it strengthening? Because beneath the surface, an intelligence, far wiser than your mind is already, orchestrating your perfect unfolding. Beneath your conscious mind, a deeper intelligence is at work, one that knows exactly what you need before you do. It orchestrates encounters, lessons, and even heartbreaks with flawless precision. Not to punish you, but to prepare you. From your limited view, it might look like chaos, but this is quantum intelligence, the same force guiding birds across oceans, seeds through soil, and trillions of cells in your body without a single thought from you. That same intelligence is shaping your life. Not randomly, not carelessly, with perfect timing aligned to your soul's evolution, not your ego's impatience. What we're touching on here is just the surface. If this resonates, if you're ready to shift from unconscious receiver to conscious broadcaster, I've mapped the full framework and beyond the frequencies. My guide to mastering consciousness through 9 core frequencies. It shows how to move from survival static into the flow where timing feels effortless. Not forced. But right now, understand this. When you say I'm late, you're not describing reality, you're resisting it. You're doubting an intelligence that sees your path more clearly than you ever could. And that resistance, not your circumstances, is what creates suffering. If this is stirring something in you, subscribe not just to the channel, but to this frequency. A space where we remember together that we're not behind. We're not broken. We're exactly where we need to be. In a world that constantly tells you otherwise, this reminder isn't optional, it's essential. Now, what changes when you truly embody this, not just think it? You stop waiting for your life to begin, because you realize it's already happening. You stop tying your worth to achievements and start showing up fully right now. Here's the paradox. The version of you you're chasing through success, they're available now. The confidence you think comes after making it, choose it now without proof. The peace you believe arrives when everything works out, claim it now through surrender. You don't become worthy by achieving. You achieve by deciding you're worthy now. You don't earn confidence through results. You create results by acting from confidence before they exist. Alignment, not effort, is magnetic. When you stop demanding life change before you feel whole, opportunities, people, and synchronicities you couldn't access before suddenly appear. So the real question isn't, when will I get there? It's, who am I being right now? And does it match who I say I want to become? That gap? That's your power zone. Not fixing your life, but shifting your state. Beneath every fear, every not ready yet story, you are ready. Not because you have it all figured out, but because you're willing to move forward without certainty. Every scar, proof you survive. Every failure, data, not destiny. Every doubt you've faced, training for the strength you'll rely on forever. Future you isn't made of different stuff. They're built from everything you've lived. Your breakdowns are their foundation. Your resilience, their armor. Your I can't go on moments, their unshakable knowing, yes, you can. So drop the myth that they're coming to save you. You're becoming them, with every choice to trust over fear, presence over resistance, faith over comparison. And the more you embody that truth, the faster the distance collapses, not by rushing, but by releasing resistance. You're not speeding up. You're arriving fully where you already are, and that's what reveals the next step in perfect time. Right now, make a decision. I'm no longer available for the story that I'm late. Breathe it in. I trust my timing. I'm exactly where I need to be. Everything has prepared me. I arrived when I was meant to. I'm becoming who I was always meant to be. Because time isn't linear, it's spiral. You return to the same themes, the same lessons, but each time from a higher level. That relationship pattern, that fear of failure, you're not stuck. You're integrating deeper, seeing the cycle as growth, recognizing the pattern is evolution. In spiral time, there's no falling behind, only deepening, expanding, mastering, and the one who meets the same challenge with greater awareness, they're not behind. They're ahead, doing the work that matters most. You're not just passing time, you're building a foundation that will hold everything coming next. And here's the quantum truth. Just like a particle exists in multiple states until observed, you exist in multiple timelines right now. One where you're behind, one where you're too late, but also one where you're early, and one where you're exactly on time. All are possible. Which becomes real? The one you focus on, the one you feed with belief, attention, and energy. This isn't poetry, it's physics. Consciousness collapses possibility into reality. So when you repeat, I'm late, you're not describing life, you're creating it. You scan for proof, others ahead, missed chances, lost years. And the more you find, the more solid that timeline feels. Until it seems like fact, not fiction. But you can choose again. Not with forced positivity, but with equally true, more empowering perspectives. I'm learning what I need right now. This is part of my path, not a detour. I'm developing qualities I'll need later. These aren't lies. They're timeline shifts. Do this not once, but as a practice. Catch the old story, pause. Choose a new lens. Over time, something changes. The anxiety softens. Comparison fades. The pressure to be elsewhere dissolves. And in that openness, you become available to what's been waiting for you all along. This is the real work. Not achieving faster, but aligning deeper. Because those who skip this, they reach the goal, but can't hold it. They get the relationship, but sabotage it. They gain success, but burn out. Why? Their inner world wasn't ready. You're not being delayed. You're being protected. The universe won't give you what your nervous system can't sustain. Waiting isn't wasted, it's root growth. Invisible, essential. What keeps you standing when storms hit? Think of Olympic athletes. They don't rush to the podium. They train in silence, in struggle, in repetition. They're not behind, they're in phase. So are you. Every challenge is conditioning. Every doubt is resistance training for your soul. You can resent the process or embody it. Extract the lesson. Build the muscle. Trust the timing. If this lands, rewatch it tomorrow morning. Anchor this frequency before your day begins. Share it with someone who feels late, not just to help them, but to reinforce your own shift. Each share sends a ripple through the field, strengthening collective trust in divine timing. Now drop one word in the comments, the energy you're choosing to embody. Not a casual reply, a declaration to the quantum field. This is who I am now. And if you haven't already, subscribe. not just for content, but to stay aligned with this frequency. Because the more of us who live from I'm on time, the more the world reflects it. This isn't just personal healing. It's collective evolution. Your timing is perfect. Your future self isn't waiting for you to arrive. They're waiting for you to fully inhabit now. You were never late. You arrived exactly when you were meant to. And from here, everything unfolds in perfect sequence. Trust it. Live from it. Watch what happens. P.S. If you're ready to recognize the universe's subtle signs, synchronicities, patterns, coded messages, stay tuned. In the next video, we dive into how the field speaks through Neville's framework of synchronicity and how to decode what it's telling you right now.